Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Legendary singer James Brown had a large family. The Godfather of Soul was officially married 3 times and had one contentious marriage which resulted in 9 children. James Brown holds many musical records, including some on the Billboard charts, and has been inducted into various halls of fame such as rhythm and blues and rock and roll. Rolling Stone also ranked him in the top 10 of the most excellent musicians ever. None of the children came close to being as famous as him, hence little is known about them. Much of the information publicly available about the children stems from their association with their child, with their father. For example, when some challenged his will and through the family's foundation. Nothing is known about Terry except his participation in the attempt to invalidate his father's will after James Brown died. Some of his children were left disappointed by their father's will. James Brown decided to leave most of his money to a trust and his grandchildren. That prompted 6 of his children, namely Venetia, Diana, Larry, Daryl, and Yama Brown, to challenge the decision in court. Terry was the 6th, but he hired a different lawyer to pursue a solution to his grievance. The children's point of contention was that their father's will was heavily influenced by his advisors, who put a lot of money into the charitable trust they would profit from. The kids were left out of much of the financial terms of the will, which arose their contention. Like the other children of James Brown, not much is known about Larry. He too was a participant in challenging his father's will. The controversial book also touched on the racial discrimination that James Brown suffered and the racially motivated attempts to end his life. After his father's death, Larry reportedly supported his siblings' desire to turn their father's beach island home into a Graceland-like museum. They also planned to construct a mausoleum at the house of his body. Besides being known for being part of the group that sought the annulment of their father's will, Daryl also came to prominence after the release of his book My Father, the Godfather in 2014. The book, which has 4.5 out of 5 stars from 7 reviews, was written as an eye-opener from Daryl's perspective as he sought to set the record straight about his father. The book reveals information about his father that was not publicly known, and is believed that his dad, older brother Teddy, and brother-in-law were murdered. The controversial book also touched on the racial discrimination that James Brown suffered and his racially motivated attempts to end his life by white police officers. It also further claimed that his wives, including Tommy Ray, were subjected to threats of racism, disappearance, and murder. Not much is known about James' son, who was given the same name as his father and had to undergo a paternity test to prove that he was James Brown's son. However, he appears to have had a good relationship with his father, judging from a loving tribute he dedicated to him in 2020. The Instagram post read, "I love you, Daddy. Merry Christmas. You're always around us and the energy never dies. Positive energy is what you want us to be, even through negative times, and thank you for everything you have done for us that kept us at a very happy place rather than a struggling place." James Jr. is the son of James and his alleged 4th wife, Tommy Ray Henney, who he had hired as a background singer for his band. He was one of the 3 children who did not challenge their father's will and has followed in his father's footsteps in artistry. Lisa Brown is the child of James Brown and his first wife, Velma Warren Brown. She was 5 years old when her parents legally separated in 1969. Her mother once claimed that she never divorced her father, despite evidence of the divorce being found in court archives. The divorce papers were filed in Richmond County in 1969. The identity of Lisa was publicly revealed in 2007 when she was mentioned in her late parents' handwritten divorce settlement. Before that, she seemed not a part of James Brown's public history, with a face that mirrors her legendary father. One can almost be sure of their relationship just by looking at them. Unfortunately, not much is known about Yama or where the title Doctor comes from. Nevertheless, she is recorded as the vice president of the James Brown Family Foundation. The foundation aims to build up on her father's legacy by supporting various charitable causes associated with children and education. Her profile on the foundation website says that she is the author of Cold Sweat, which details how her father used to beat his second wife, Dredry Jenkins. She is also a public speaker, and her topics include domestic violence, community involvement issues, lupus, and pharmacology. Dana was born in Queens, New York, but described herself as a Southern beauty as she was raised in Augusta, Georgia. She graduated from Towson State University and Columbia School of Broadcasting. The multi-talented daughter of James Brown is an entrepreneur, actress, radio and television personality, writer, and humanitarian. She is the head of the Brown Family Foundation and advocates for charitable giving. One of her and the foundation's initiatives is the annual James Brown Turkey and Toy Giveaway, which seeks to give unprivileged kids and families turkeys and toys during the holiday birthdays in Augusta and New York. Furthermore, she is an ambassador of Feed the Hungry as a recognition for her work in providing food for the less fortunate. She also supports educational and mentorship initiatives and established a theater arts, fashion, and fine arts program called the James Brown Family Performing Arts Center in New York. Venetia, like her father, was a musician and songwriter. She embodied her father's dance moves and singing abilities. Sadly, she passed away in September 2018 at the age of 53. His early death may also be a contributing factor as he lost his life before his 20th birthday. The cause of death was said to have been complications from pneumonia. Her death was announced by the James Brown Family Foundation, which thanked the public for their prayers and telephone calls. Teddy Brown is probably the oldest of James Sr.'s children. He was born in 1954 and died in 1973. The cause of death is recorded as a car crash. However, his brother Daryl challenged this, saying he was murdered. He claims that he was shot before the car accident happened. Ultimately, not much else is known about Teddy. His early death may also be a contributing factor, and he lost his life before his 20th birthday. Besides the 9 mentioned above, James Brown also had several children we were later discovered to be after his death. The legendary singer is also survived by numerous grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.